Kiborg is a third-person beat-em-up roguelite made by Sobaka Games, where you play as a captive forced to participate in a violent last-man-standing-esque show, where in order to escape, the protagonist has to battle through waves of enemies, acquiring upgrades as he goes. This is all you need to know about the game story-wise. The story, for the most part, is meant to justify the gameplay. The foundation of Kiborg's gameplay loop is very straightforward. You start at the main hub area, which essential functions are practicing combos and getting perma upgrades for the in-game currency called data. When you want to start a run, you take an elevator which takes you to what I call the prep area, because after acquiring certain perma upgrades you will be able to choose your starting implants and weapons. We will go into those later when we discuss the combat mechanics. You then proceed to your first arena, beat everyone up and move on. You are then met with two branching paths, offering two different rewards. You choose your path, beat up higher difficulty enemies, the loop continues all the way until you reach the boss. Beat them up and move to the next area. The same loop continues but in a different environment. Here's what the game offers the player in terms of disposing of adversaries. While on your run, you are going to be able to acquire melee weapons and firearms, but until you do, all you are left with is hand-to-hand combat. You have your standard light and heavy attacks, as well as a circular attack that lets you do AoE damage. You can mix and match the attacks to do combos, few of which you have available from the get-go, the others need to be unlocked via the skill tree. You have a Souls-like targeting system which is not particularly useful, aside from the fact that it allows you to target an enemy from afar and leap towards them with an attack, a tactic that could also be useful to escape crowds. You have your standard block, dodge, and parry. However, those consume shields, which are essentially your resource pool for defense. You also have an energy pool that you can use for performing super moves, which you unlock as you play the game. You may come across different melee weapons as you do a run, all having different stats and playstyles. They are essentially meant to serve as temporary DPS boosters due to their low durability. You shouldn't expect to wield a melee weapon for more than 1 or 2 stages, unless you are specifically going for a melee weapon based build. The game also includes ranged weapons, a system that is more nuanced and unique to the game. The first ranged weapon type is primary: shotguns, ARs, snipers, flamethrowers, etc. Those have permanent durability yet consume what the game calls universal ammo, which means ammo for all primary firearms that you can collect by having enemies drop it, getting it from loot boxes, etc. The second type is sidearms. Those would be your pistols, revolvers, SMGs, and so on. Those are meant to serve you as weapons for quick enemy disposal, since unlike the primary weapons, which you have to aim manually, sidearms allow you to quick shot with a press of just one button. Sidearm ammo cannot be found or dropped in the game. You have to reload by disposing of enemies in melee. Your character has a skill tree that you can invest in by accumulating the in-game currency called data, which you simply collect by progressing through the levels. After each run, successful or not, you will be awarded with data points. The skill tree progress is permanent, meaning that it never resets after your runs. There are 4 branches in the skill tree, which are essentially health, arsenal, combos, and cybernetic upgrades. Health is pretty straightforward. It mainly focuses on increasing your health pool. Arsenal focuses on enhancing melee and ranged weapon effectiveness. The combos branch focuses on expanding your moveset, as well as lets you unlock super moves that consume the energy pool. Cybernetic upgrades increase the effectiveness of the upgrades that you will come across throughout your run. Those are your implants, augmentations, and mutations. Implants is the game's signature feature. During your runs, you will come across body implants that can be collected from loot boxes or dropped from defeated mini-bosses. You are presented with a choice to pick 1 out of 3 dropped implants to replace a body part. You can collect a total of 7 implants throughout your run for the following slots: legs, torso, heart, spine, left arm, right arm, and head. Implants are what essentially defines the core of your character's build for the current run. An implant will enhance certain abilities for your character until the run ends. That's where builds come in. You want a tanky, hand-to-hand focused character? Get the Guardian implants. If you are trying to be more agility based, Blur is your choice.
Want to go for something more unconventional, like a summon build? Choose Source. And of course, you can mix and match everything to your liking. You get the idea. Your character will change visually based on the implants you equip, which complements the power fantasy of your character turning from a base human to a fully blown cyborg as you progress with the run. The two secondary upgrade types are mutations and augmentations. Mutations let you pick an attribute enhancement in exchange for degrading another attribute. For example, increasing melee damage in exchange for slower movement. Augmentations only give positive effects, though not as significantly powerful as mutations. One very important nuance about augmentations, though, is the fact that if you have any implants on your character, you will now get offers for augmentations that boost characteristics of equipped implants. For example, you might come across an implant that gives your character an electric aura that does AoE damage. And then you may stumble upon an augmentation that doubles its radius. It goes even further than that. Let's say you go for a hybrid build. On one of my runs, I tried to do a mix between an agility and summon based character. The in-game agility-based build relies heavily on you filling up your combo meter. That means you have to attack enemies in quick succession without interruption. However, because I had a hybrid of agility and summons, I quickly realized that mixing the two was not a good idea due to the fact that my minions would often get in my way, preventing me from accumulating combos, all the way until I stumbled upon an augmentation that let my minions' attacks contribute to my combo meter, which flipped my concern upside down. So augmentation offers don't just include set-specific implants, but hybrids as well. All of the above mechanics make for high-quality player expression. However, this large variety seems to lead to what is arguably the biggest flaw of the game: balance. All of my runs were split into two categories: a definite loss or a guaranteed completion, never in between. For example, there's an implant set in the game called Thunder God. One of its main features is expanding and quickly recovering your energy pool, which is used for you to perform super moves. One of the unlockable super moves in the game is partial healing, which in combination with Thunder God build may turn you into an unstoppable healing machine, at which point you will not have to worry about your character being damaged at all throughout the rest of the run. For those focusing on optimized runs, completing the game will feel like a breeze, since you will quickly find yourself knowing exactly what kind of build you should go for. But beware that will strip you of any challenge. Experimenting with different builds is still satisfying due to how variable your character can be. However, the gratification mitigates when you know that you can just go for an optimized approach and ease your way throughout the whole game. Kiborg, despite its flaws, holds strong in the roguelite genre, mostly due to its uniqueness. However, the player shouldn't expect a fair experience out of the game due to its balance issues. If you enjoy beat 'em ups and like experimenting with character builds, give Kiborg a try.